Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm Zach, your host, and welcome to the very first episode of Outback with Uncle Zach. Some things you're going to expect from this channel are going to be, we're going to test some different kinds of ammunition against different kinds of targets, we're going to do some science-y kind of stuff, maybe even some how-tos. The sky's the limit. I'm very happy to tell you that I get to start my channel off with a bang, though. And that bang is coming at you courtesy of this stuff right here. It's called Thundershot by Gryphon Energetics. So I picked this up at SHOT Show 2017 this year, and it's a binary exploding target, not unlike tannerite, except for it's a lot more powerful. Now those skeptics out there, I can already hear you, tannerite's already powerful enough. Where do we go from there? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I was able to actually take this out into the desert and test it side by side with tannerite to see what could do more damage, per se. The first thing I did was I put it up on some 8-gauge steel plates, which I'll put in some still images of the aftermath. It's quite impressive. I also wanted to see if I could launch some 5-gallon buckets into the air, but I didn't really take into account the tensile strength of plastic. Needless to say, we're going to have to revisit that one coming up. So, before I get into the fun, let me actually describe this stuff to you and tell you why I love this so far. So anybody who's ever shot tannerite knows that it comes in a cylindrical container. You also know that if you hit that container on the side, maybe the top or bottom, your really shallow angles, most likely you're just going to destroy the container and everything's going to go flying all over the ground. You're going to have a bad time. You may have noticed this is in a square container. Now there's a very good reason for that. Each side measures 3 inches. So it doesn't matter if you hit on the side, top, bottom, well, I mean, as long as you're, where the powder is. As long as you hit it square on the face, you're going to get a detonation. And I know that because I'm not the best shot. So that's one difference. You're guaranteed to get 3 inches of penetration no matter where you hit. Now, you also may have noticed all these different colors on the label. At first, I thought it was just creative packaging. But, as was explained to me, there's a very good reason for all these different colors. So, I live in the desert. Everything around me, scenery-wise, is, tan, different shades of red, brown, really earthy tones. So, forget that for a second. Let's say you live in a wooded area. Let's pretend this is your backstop. If you're 100 yards away, you're going to have a hard time seeing that little black label against this dark brown background. You might be able to see yellow easier, or hot pink. For some of us, blue. The whole purpose of these colors is so you can see it against whatever the backstop is, and that's awesome. I mean, granted, tannerite comes in that bright orange, which is very hard to miss, but this gives you some variety. I like variety. Now, that all having been said, let's have some fun. So, my first test, I took some 8-gauge steel plates from one of the big box hardware stores. I put one of these on it, and I also put some tannerite on another one, and I had them suspended above the ground to see what kind of damage would be done to the plate itself. So here's an image of what the tannerite did. And now here's an image of what the Thundershot did. For those of you that saw the difference, you saw that there was a difference. The tannerite kind of folded over into a metal donut, which was pretty impressive, but the Thundershot seemed to have sort of fused the plate to itself, which was also very impressive. So, just for fun, let's see what happens when tannerite goes off.
Not a bad thump.
Pretty fun, huh? Cool. Now, let's see what happens when Thundershot goes off.
Oh, man!
Wow. Quite a bit.
Right? Unfortunately, the camera audio, I don't think, picked up the difference in the sound of the actual explosions or the residual, let's call it boom noise, or the, and no pun intended, the thunder kind of noise that you get from an exploding target. The tannerite had a nice echo, but the Thundershot literally kind of sounded like thunder going off, and it rang for, I don't know, a while anyway. You can see the difference in the smoke cloud to show you how big the actual explosion was. Now, just for fun, as I said, the plastic buckets was kind of a wash. The Tannerite and the Thundershot blew the buckets up with not a trace to be left. So I'm going to have to revisit that one, and we're going to try to use some metal canisters, see if we can get them to launch. That's going to be fun, so stay tuned for that. But here we go. Here's the Tannerite.
Well, I don't think there's any bucket left.
And now here's the Thundershot. And there you have it, folks. I will be taking these two exact targets out with me for my next video to launch those buckets, or maybe trash cans. We'll see. But I hope you stay tuned for that one. Thank you for tuning in this time, and until next time, shoot straight and be safe.